coached by one less Miles when he was at Michigan. Of course, LSU beat Mississippi State 59-26, and they're still 10th in the nation in the latest Associated Press poll. The Tigers will host Florida Saturday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. at Tiger Stadium. Please give a warm New Orleans Quarterback Club welcome to Dean Dingman of the LSU Tigers. Dean?
Thank you. Just kind of recap a little bit about our game against Mississippi State. As you've seen, the team is off to a really good start. On offense, we've really had some great growth. Coach Cameron has come down, really put in some incredible preparation. A little bit about Coach Cameron, I go back with him since 1987. Him and Les coached on the same staff at the University of Michigan, and were both young coaches when I came in there as a freshman. The preparation is just unbelievable. I mean, we have interns, GAs, they're working incredible amounts of hours to give them every information, to be prepared, ready to go for practice, and then also the game. And obviously you've seen on the offense side, Zach Mettenberger was just named the SEC Player of the Week with his great performance against Mississippi State. He's had tremendous strides this year in managing the game, but also as a leadership and a leader role. And I think a lot of that also goes to Coach Craig Thorpe, who has worked with him for the last 2 years since he came from junior college, has set those things in place to have success this year. Also on the offense, our two great wide receivers are off to an amazing start. Probably the best tandem in the country as wide receivers. Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry are just tremendous players, but also leaders on the team, and it's really showing on the field. One of the things that's a little bit different this year is the talent in our offensive line is really at pro potential. We've got a great offensive line. It's really coming off the ball. A little bit you saw some sacks here or there, and those are more assignment based with doing zone blitzes, doing different things on that side. That we'll work those things out, and the offensive line has really come a long way. A couple of our starters are from the Catholic League, from Shaw, Elliott Porter, and then Trey Turner also. So they've really come together and having a tremendous season with some of the young guys on that area. On defense, we had to replace a lot of guys. Most of our guys are all in the NFL, left after their junior year. Coach Chavis is really working, and I think you saw in the second half of that game, you were holding them to 3 points. That offense was really rolling in the first half. You saw growth. You saw some young guys at the corner position. You saw defensive line putting pressure. You saw linebackers coming downhill. Defensive backs really kind of taking that next step and improving. And that's really the positive thing as we move forward is everybody's getting better. It's a young team. We're off to a really good start. We really face a tough team coming up in Florida. They're not really getting if you look at the polls, they're not really getting the respect. But when you watch them on film, this is probably one of the best defenses in the country. They'll come downhill and hit you. They got incredible speed in the backfield. Right now, a lot of the rankings you'll see, they probably got 2 of the best cornerbacks in the country looking at the NFL for next year. They are really talented. Their defensive line, probably their best player is a loss for the season, but they're still really loaded. We're going to really have a challenge to have our offense, which is off to a tremendous start, go against this defense. It's going to be a really good matchup that we'll have to be up to an incredible challenge. On offense, they have a huge offensive line. They're running the ball downhill with their new quarterback, and real efficient with a lot of speed out at the wide receivers. So as we go, our traditional rivalry with Florida, as you know, the coach has been kind of pushing the SEC a little bit to take a different look at that whole situation. But this is just a tremendous game. They really, last year was probably the most physical game we played in down in Florida. So we're looking forward to that now being in our house at LSU to go back against them on that side. So if that, give you guys any questions or anything on that side?
Raise your hand. There's a question. In the back over there.
Go ahead.
If you were, I know you can't talk about people individually, but if you were a recruiter, what would you tell an outstanding running back?
if you have the stable of running backs you have now, what would you tell an outstanding running back about coming to your program?
Well, I think if you look at two of our running backs are playing in the NFL right now that were on our depth chart last year. So with that, with the structure of playing in a pro system offense, we're going to play in the same offense that they're going to play in when they get to the NFL. Coach Cameron's got history of the NFL, the offensive line. You're going to be set up as a running back to go. Because you look at all great running backs and all great players in high school really are looking at nowadays, how do I get to the NFL? And really that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people that have that aspiration to get to the NFL. And when you do that, you need to really play in a pro-style offense with a big offensive line that's going to come downhill, multi-dimensional, catching the ball in the backfield. So as last year that depth chart looked pretty crowded, this year it looks a little crowded, but we'll have to see once the season's over. I'm sure there'll be probably some attrition there again, and we'll keep feeding people to the NFL, I'm sure, at that position. So when you look at that, we are the team that can put you to that next level.
What else?
Thanks, appreciate it.